These next 6 months of 2026 are about being, not doing. And I believe, as I spoke about in my last video, how so many of us have been in this liminal space between the old and the new. We've been in a season of transition, and more importantly, we have been in a season of formation, which means that it's now about who we are becoming, not about what we are doing. What we are doing will always be a result of who we are being and who we have become. And as we step into this next phase of our lives, this new chapter that I really feel that is unfolding for us right now, if you like me have been in this season of wilderness formation, liminal space, the key now is to not go backwards. The key now is to embody who you've become. The key now is to operate from that new beingness, that new version of you, that new sense of self, rather than going backwards, diverting back to this old operating system. And that's going to be the absolute key to forward momentum in these next 6 months and beyond. So the temptation when things start moving again is to go back to old things, old people, old ways of being, to return to normal, quote unquote, the familiar, quote unquote, rather than trusting that you've been in this liminal space for a reason. You've been in the wilderness for a reason. You've been in a season of formation for a reason. It's because certain people, places, and things cannot be carried forward into your next chapter of life. And I saw a video where someone talked about the analogy of leaves, and it was so beautiful and so poignant that I really want to share it. And I can't remember what the video was, but this guy was talking about how leaves obviously fall away in autumn, and those leaves were a part of that tree in the previous season. They gave that tree life in the previous season. But if the tree were to hold on to those leaves in the next season, they would become an energy drain. They would become depletion. They would become dead weight. And this is why we have to trust our season of formation. We have to trust the wilderness and the liminal space we've been in, that those things that maybe belonged in a previous season and were life-giving and nourishing to us in that season could become an absolute energy drain in the next one, if we don't have the discernment to see what belongs in the past or what belongs in our future, what belongs not in the same way in our new chapter. We have to have the courage to be honest with ourselves about what no longer belongs or no longer belongs in the same way, and to act and behave accordingly. This is my permission slip to you. You do not need to feel guilty about it. You do not need to keep looking over your shoulder towards the past. You are done. This is time now, in the next 6 months, to really embody who you have become in this wilderness season, to embody who you have become in this season of formation. You've been formed, you've been shaped, your character has been developed. Now it's time for you to embody that, to be that out in the world. Not revert back to an old way of being that feels familiar. And it's not about perfection, getting it perfect every time. Maybe this is your testing ground. Maybe this is your practice season. But always remember and bring yourself back to who you have become. Act from that place. Live from that place. Embody that. And if sometimes you revert, okay, cool. You bring yourself back. Course correct. Because that is what's going to bring the new. The new you is going to bring the new. The old you is going to bring more stagnation. And when we don't listen to seasons of formation, they get delayed as well. When we are not obedient to that season of formation, we prolong that liminal space. That liminal space will shift, momentum will come when you have the courage to start embodying who you have become and start being it, rather than thinking about it, analyzing it, and reverting back to an old way of being. So now, as we approach these last 6 months of 2026, this is the time to step into that embodiment once and for all. You've done enough formation, you know. You are who you need to be for this next chapter. You've become it. Now start acting like it. So as you approach these last 6 months of 2026, the question is not, what should I be doing? It's, who am I ready to be? And that is the key here. This is the time to step into the new with enthusiasm, with trust and faith in that everything is unfolding exactly the way it's meant to. And now it's your turn to show up in this new embodiment. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel to not miss out on future videos. I'm Hege, sharing spiritual insight, poetry, music, and lived reflections to help us see more clearly and to live more truthfully together. Until next time.